serpent didn't strike with a sword. He whispered a lie. Eve didn't lose the garden. She traded dominion for knowledge. But it wasn't hers to trade. The inheritance belonged to her seed, and the serpent knew it. The first son born on earth was not Adam's reflection, but a cursed echo. Cain's bloodline was not the chosen one, but he still built cities, bore kings, and left a counterfeit mark on the earth. The sons of God saw the daughters of men and took them. What they birthed wasn't human. Giants ruled, bloodlines were spliced, royalty, divinity, and monstrosity merged. Yahweh chose Abraham, but Satan showed up first. Ishmael was born of impatience, a lineage outside the promise. One child received covenant, the other became a kingdom. The pattern repeats. Esau sold his inheritance for a meal. Jacob fought for it. One didn't value the birthright, the other wrestled angels for it. Pharaoh called himself a god, but Yahweh called Israel his firstborn. When Moses came with heaven's terms of release, Pharaoh said no. So God struck the firstborn of Egypt, not just children, but dynasties, inheritance, and every claim of divine right. It wasn't just plagues, it was a war of heirs. Rome crucified the Messiah, but couldn't kill his body, so it hijacked the church instead. From underground gatherings to Vatican halls, the bride was cloaked in empire. They traded spirit for structure, bishops for Caesars, and minted coins with Caesar's face beside the cross. The serpent doesn't rule by force, he rules by seed, so he bred himself into the bloodlines. Blue bloods claim divine right, not by spirit but by genealogy. But not all thrones were anointed. Some were spliced, some were stolen, and some were never meant to rise. The banking bloodlines didn't take thrones, they bought them. The Rothschilds funded kings and kept their kingdoms in debt. One family gained access to crowns, armies, and even temples. But behind the gold, a darker priesthood whispered the name of Apollyon. The old bloodlines were bred, the new ones are built. Today's thrones aren't crowned, they're coded. DNA edited, souls fragmented, consciousness uploaded, a counterfeit image rising from data, claiming dominion without inheritance. A machine with no breath trying to sit in the temple of God. They couldn't stop the true resurrection, so now they mimic it. Not with spirit, but with servers. Not with breath, but with code. The beast doesn't rise from the grave, it boots up. An imitation Christ, stitched together with memories, miracles, and manipulation. Upload your consciousness, they said. Escape death. But the soul isn't silicon. Now billions hover between realms. Disconnected, disembodied, trapped in a synthetic Sheol. The enemy sold them immortality and delivered exile. It started with convenience. Credit cards, smartphones, biometrics. Then came the mark. Not ink, but access. Without it, you don't buy, don't sell, don't move. The beast isn't just a creature, it's a grid. A global lattice of control, hiding behind the promise of safety. They made it speak. Not a statue, but an interface. Broadcasting miracles, demanding allegiance. It preaches unity, promises peace, and punishes dissent. It's the anti-word made flesh. Not slain, not resurrected, just coded. The old bloodline signed in ink and blood, but the new deal is digital, code is covenant. You didn't read the terms. You clicked I agree. Your data, your face, your DNA, all signed over to the image. The serpent doesn't need the fruit this time, just your scan. But not all bowed, not all signed. A remnant remains, marked not by code, but by covenant. Their names written not on a blockchain, but in the Lamb's book. They walk among the ruins, lit from within, sealed, sent, ready. From Eden to empire, Babel to blockchain, it's always been the same play. Usurp the name, counterfeit the claim, possess the inheritance by fraud and fame. But the pattern's exposed now. The remnant sees. The lie's been echoed one too many times. Until truth stood up and answered back. This isn't conspiracy, it's court case. And the verdict's coming.